It doesn't matter what Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick tells CNN News anchor Dana Bash. All she hears, for some reason, is that he said that he does not care about how tariffs affect American citizens. Yo, for real, it's like he's like, look, there's a $1 trillion deficit between what we spend and what we pay out to anybody else in the world. And all she hears like, so yo, so you don't care about the jobs that Americans are gonna lose on the ports? He's like, no, look, actually, we're gonna gain more jobs back to this country. And she's like, so you don't care about the old jobs? Just the new jobs, that's all you care about? Yo, Dana Bash has snorted so many Zolofts that she is no longer able to feel happiness, nor can she hear any pleasantries. Yeah, the greatest love songs to her sound like cries of mourning. Yeah, Howard Lutnick, with all his charm and all his positive affirmations about the American economy in the near future, like as near as summertime, could not break her sadness. But yo, she was like, so what about all the foreign products that we love? Are we just not gonna be able to get them no more? She cried, what about those? Are the prices for foreign prices gonna go up? Howard smiled at her and he said, if they do, Dana, fudge them. Fudge them, Dana. Fudge them in a forest fire with marshmallows and graham crackers. Fudge them. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
I want to start with what President Trump said on social media, that there was much agreed to in negotiations on Saturday. What were some of the things that they agreed on in these talks in Switzerland?
The team is in Switzerland meeting with their counterparts from China, and they are hard at it. There's a lot to accomplish. There's both a lot to take care of and get off the table, and they're working hard at it. At the end of the day, they felt good. The president felt good, and I'm going to leave it to them. But it felt good yesterday. The president tweeted that out and truthed that out. But things feel really good.
As the Secretary of Commerce, I do want to ask about the fact that there are no ships carrying goods from China bound for the West Coast right now. President Trump said earlier this week that drops in imports is actually a good thing because it's going to affect people's wallets and jobs. Well, he said it's a good thing because it shows that the imports are, that the tariffs are working. But in reality, it's going to affect people's wallets and jobs. Truck drivers, port workers, American consumers. So my question for you is, how is that a good thing?
Talk about.
Well, I think the point that the president makes with his tariffs is that America has a $1.2 trillion trade deficit. That means other people are selling us goods that more than we are selling them. And that's just not balanced. It's not fair. We're losing $1.2 trillion a year, of which directly and indirectly to China, that's about $1 trillion. You know, China sells goods to Vietnam. Vietnam repackages them and sells them to us. So the idea is the president wants balanced and fair trade, and tariffs are the tool to create balanced and fair trade. It's just unsustainable for $1.2 trillion to be exported to the rest of the world, meaning our money is going to the rest of the world. It's building them up. And over time, it's taken us down. And the president's here to fix it. So that's what he's trying to do with his tariffs.
And I understand what you're talking about with regard to sort of economic policy. But there's economic policy, and then there's how people in the United States actually feel and the immediate effect on them. So just to be clear, are you saying that ultimately fixing what the president sees as a problem, which he just described, is going to mean that the American people, whether they work at a port or whether they're truck drivers or whether they're consumers, they're just going to have to suffer in the short term, maybe even longer?
No. Let's take a look at the UK deal we did on we announced on Thursday, right? We opened the opportunity for Americans to export to the United Kingdom $5 billion more than they've ever had the right before. You had beef, ethanol, row crops, vegetables, fruits, cereals, sodas, machinery. I mean, just the list goes on and on. So the idea for the president is look, we published our rates on Liberation Day. Negotiate with us, bring those rates down by opening your markets to Americans who can export. So what's going to happen is we're going to have imports. Of course, our ports, we are the consumer of the world. I mean, we consume
Stupid.
$20 trillion worth of stuff. The
But that
world
is
wants to
stopping
sell
now.
us stuff.
But it's not happening right now because
It's
of the
only
president's tariff
stopping.
policies.
No. It's only stopping. Look, we are in a negotiation with China. We agree. It has stopped 145% on China. Of course that stops it. But they're negotiating that right now. That we are optimistic that will open. But what the president's tariff policy is let's open all the markets in the world that have been closed to us. Let's get that opportunity for Americans to export to them. Let's really, really help Americans export. And of course, those people who import are going to have great businesses.
But as you well know, because you worked on the UK deal, which I'll get to in 1 second, that's a very different kettle of fish than China and even some of the other countries that I know that you are trying to deal with directly. So when it comes to, again, I'm talking about American jobs and American consumers in the short term. We're heading into the summer, and it could mean, tell me if this is wrong, that a lot of the goods that Americans are used to either buying or, getting easily will either be more expensive or hard to get. We're talking about beach chairs, swimsuits, picnic supplies, fireworks. Is this something that Americans just need to understand is going to be harder to buy?
Well, I think, look, the Chinese and our representatives are meeting now. So, let's just leave what's possible with China to what happens on Monday, Tuesday, and next week. But the rest of the world is open for business, right? Remember, we have a low tariff on the rest of the world while we negotiate. But our expectation is that these countries are going to open their markets, their tariffs are going to come down, the ability for us to export and grow our economy is going to be better than ever before. That's why President Trump talks about a golden age. Of course, all these countries are going to come and sell their products to us. Of course, we're going to have our shelves full of wonderful products made around the world. But we're going to make sure on their shelves that American products are finally given the fair treatment that they deserve. And I think what people forget is that we have been locked out of economy after economy after economy. And President Trump is going to break down those barriers and let us sell. Imagine this. If we can let other countries accept our standards, then our small businesses can sell online to foreign purchasers. I mean, imagine we're not allowed to do that now. It's just not fair trade, and President Trump is on trying to make it fair trade.
Okay, you heard how Howard ended that, right? I promise you, she did not. Dana did not hear none of that. All she heard was, so how much do you think flat screens are going? Look, if you don't have a flat screen, it is 2025. If you don't have a flat screen by now, you do not deserve one. Forget about it. It's just 3 books. You know what I'm saying? We don't need nothing from no foreign country except for pharmaceuticals and crude oil. Everything else, what'd she say? Swimsuits, beach chairs, fireworks. Forget them. Fudge them. Fudge them, Dana. Jeez Louise, what is wrong with these news anchors? You know what's wrong with them? CNN pays them so much to just be negative. You know what I'm saying? How can you be negative with all of this optimism that Trumpito's administration is bringing to the table lately? This has never been done before, and it's working. Quickly working. It ain't even 100 days. He's getting results right now. I don't understand what it is. I mean, I know what happened to Dana. She's been cursed. Cursed with the sadness. I mean, look at her face. She's she's in a horrible place, I'm sure, and I'm gonna pray for you, Dana. Maybe there's a magician somewhere that can take that spell off of you. But until then, I don't know what Howard could have said to make you feel more encouraged about this. It's not like the tariffs haven't been done before, just never to this degree. And mainly, we're just, you see it worked with UK. Now they want to buy some of our stuff. You know? Okay. Cheese Louise, you don't like Trump. I get it, Dana. You don't like Trump, but you have to like this money coming. The stock market has been up and down. It's been currently up for 4 weeks a month straight, despite tariffs. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Even though that's all I do is watch the news and read newspapers and news articles. But yeah, I'm sorry, Dana. Somebody's gonna find you and they're gonna love you for who you are. Yo, my name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.